Welcome to Everything Money again. Here we go. Welcome to Everything Money. In this video, we will talk about the rise and fall of Peloton. It got smoked yesterday, and we will talk about it now. This company is very disruptive. It's down 35%. We will show you the financials of what the heck happened, their earnings, and where they're going from here. We will use our software to get toward a stock price that you might want to pay for Peloton now that it's fallen. And we will go over to Mo. He will show you the charts on how to trade this incredibly disruptive stock right now. But first, who are we? Well, I'll bring in the boys right now. I asked your questions to Paul and Mo, a couple fellows that manage over $100 million in real estate all over the world, businesses, multiple businesses and stocks, and they'll tell you about Peloton right now. Paul, welcome in. I see you there. Mo, welcome in. I see you guys. Paul, tell us about your thoughts on Peloton prior to this collapse.
I have a Peloton. Mo has a Peloton. It's phenomenal. We love them. Everyone's jealous of our Pelotons. They're the greatest things in the world, but it doesn't mean the stock is great. Guys, it was massively overpriced. We have previous videos, I think, in which we went over Peloton. And this is just an indicator of the fact that over the long haul, stocks will go to their values, right? Based on their fundamentals. Peloton fell because, and this is something very common that we're discussing in a lot of videos, they had a huge surge because of COVID, people buying home gyms, getting things in there. Peloton revenue missed. Peloton profit missed. By the way, when I say profit, they lost more money than they expected to lose. So they're still not even a money-making business. That's the issue I have. They reported quarterly sales of $805 million, which was missed from 810. Guys, let me make a comment here. Think about this for a second. The stock is currently down 33% because of missing by less than 1% of revenue. This is what I want everybody to understand when we talk about over-exaggerated responses to news. Less than a 1% miss and the stock is down 33 or 34%. One, this tells me that Peloton was massively overpriced because it had big expectations when it finally missed, which it was going to, I think. I mean, guys, with such a surge because of COVID, it's really, really difficult in order to have it's really difficult to have massive growth. They still beat last year's quarter, but they missed guidance. They beat last quarter. They had more revenue than they expected. They expected to have 758 million in revenue. They got 805. But because they didn't get enough that the analysts thought, they are down 35%. Just think about that for a second. Just think about that for 1 second, how ridiculous that is. But this is the world of stocks. Now, the benefit, what we're trying to teach is, at some point to take this kind of information and these kind of events and use it to your advantage. How can you use this to your advantage in order to jump on stocks that might be hit? Now, for Peloton, I still don't like the stock being a money loser. So we go to our software here, you go to the income statement, it's still losing money like crazy. It hasn't updated yet for last quarter, but it's still losing money like crazy. Every quarter except for the previous 3 during COVID. So I'm looking at going, let's get to a stable point where they're making money consistently, they're growing revenue, they're growing profit in a consistent basis. Look at their shares outstanding, increasing every single quarter. Must be a blip there, but increasing every single quarter. Okay, so they're funding their losses through equity. Fine, but that's diluting people. These are just the trademarks to me of a company that's not ready for me to evaluate because it's not stable enough. Now, a lot of people might sit there and say, oh, no, this is fine. I love doing this. It's like, okay, great. Have fun doing that. But a $17 billion company, what other companies are $17 billion? I keep preaching this. What other companies are $17 billion? What other companies can you buy for $17 billion? What's up, Mo?
Yeah, when you look at what this company, I mean, this was really a quote unquote COVID stock. I mean, these people were banking that their sales were going to stay the same because people were going to stay home from gyms and basically never go to a gym again. And if we look at what Planet Fitness did yesterday, people are going back to gyms. And I made the point on the morning show this morning, a Peloton doesn't replace going to a gym. A Peloton replaces some aspects of going to a gym, doing cardio and yoga and all that, but it doesn't replace an entire gym experience. So I think that they put too much emphasis on that regard of the business.
So it's funny. I'm watching this movie on Netflix called Worth. Mm-hmm. It's about 9/11 and the lawyer that was hired to basically determine how much every life was worth that was also 9/11.
Mm-hmm.
The reason I bring this up is I remember back in 9/11 when it happened, and people were saying skyscrapers are done. We're not going to be building any more skyscrapers. It's too dangerous. Guys, we replaced the World Trade Centers with like the largest buildings in the world or something like that. I'm like, these are just I don't think going to the office is gone. I don't think going to the gym is gone. We don't want to be people who just sit in our houses all tight in here and not talk to anybody. Peloton, I think, is going to do well over the long run in terms of sales because they're a great product and they have a great brand. But I don't think that people thinking that people are going to stop going to gyms is a realistic expectation. That's just my opinion. Just like going shopping, even though shopping has changed significantly, people aren't going to stop going to shopping. Going to the gym is still a social event. Going to the mall is still a social event. Doing, even with Peloton, the thing I like about them, they've made more of a social event with their system, but it doesn't mean you're just done with all the physical social interaction.
And
does that mean Peloton? Go ahead.
Oh, no. Going off of what you just said about creating that kind of community, there's other companies that are doing that now. I mean, Apple alone is starting to do that fitness community. You look at Beachbody, I think, is the company. I mean, you look at so many of these different companies, they're creating the same thing. So it's not like Peloton is a moat and they're on their own and they're just going to crush it. So they have a lot of things that are going against them, and it's starting to show.
Listen, competition is there. I bought a NordicTrack last year, iFit machine that has the social aspect of things. So Seth, what were you going to say?
Well, I was going to say, Mo, why don't we head over? You've gotten a lot of requests for Peloton. Obviously, did people catch this in the bid and ask in terms of trading yesterday? Could you have traded this on a daily chart, caught these engulfing candlesticks, and rode this thing down? Paul, would you want to show us a stock analyzer for this now that this company has fallen?
I can't do a stock analyzer because it doesn't make money. I'll explain that. Guys, the stock analyzer tool that we have is wonderful. It's great, but we need profit in order. I'm not here. I didn't create this tool to assume losses for years and years to come. I need profit because I need a profit margin here, right? So there is no profit margin. It's negative. So I just, it's too hard for me. Now, granted, we could do some estimates just to show how ridiculous the price might be. But at the same point, it's still not apples to apples because there is no profit yet for me to sit. I don't even know what a reasonable profit margin is for Peloton. That's the hard part when you find a stock that hasn't made money yet. What is a reasonable amount of money? Do we go back to the previous quarters where they made money and said, okay, $1 billion in revenue, they made 64 million, 70 million. Are they 7-8% profit margin? I don't know.
Mm-hmm. And even if you wanted to make an industry comparison, I guess the closest thing you could do is compare it to like a Nautilus. But even then, it's not really on the same scale. I mean, it's a home gym company, but it's still not on the same scale. I mean, it's not the same idea behind it,
Mo, are people trading this in the Bidness Nation? Show us your charts.
So pull up my charts here. So if you just look at, what I noticed is when they start, every time that they gap down on earnings, here was a gap down. The next couple of days, the stock fell. Here was another gap down. The next couple of days, the stock fell. Here was last quarter earnings, and it fell. So right now, this gap, I'm not so certain that this thing is just going to start rebounding out of nowhere. I wouldn't be surprised if it fell a few more days. Now, that's just a little pattern that I recognize. What I would do if I was you, completely ignore both of these for the time being. Head over here to the 15-minute chart and try to play with it over here. You can already see that this is look at this fall. I mean, this happened overnight, rebounding. Obviously. Now
it's rebounding.
It's rebounding, but we'll see if it lasts. And the beauty of the 15-minute chart is you can play with it as it lasts. Right now, we are over 80% on our stochastic. If I was you, I mean, if you were watching this live, and I would tell you, just wait until you get to the top of this candle and make an ad. And this thing can definitely rebound a little bit today. But at the same point, as soon as that drops below 80, and if it gets down here below 20, go ahead and short it. I mean, there's a lot of things you can do with this thing from a 15-minute perspective. And these kind of dramatic reactions, this is when you take advantage of the 15-minute chart and go try to make a couple bucks.
Paul, what do you say to people saying you're missing out on, well, I guess they already told us we were missing out on Peloton, and now that it's collapsed, is this a chance to buy? What are you paying for this? What are your thoughts?
I have no idea. And that's the problem. Like we're trying to teach a process here that's based on stable companies that have reliable metrics that we can sit there and project out in the future. Peloton is not there yet. Does that mean it's a bad? Absolutely not. I just prefer to buy the companies that everybody's done with the hype. It's just like Bitcoin. It's just like all the cryptocurrencies. Every month there's a new crypto that's the new crypto, and the last ones are dead. Right, Seth? So
Yeah.
you sent us a text today, and we posted on Instagram about all the companies that are now down 40, 50% since the beginning of the year that were all these hype companies just 1 year ago. Guys, these things happen. Your job as a good investor is to find these companies that are past their hype and now more stable, and you can buy them at good multiples. That's our goal here. If you're here to find hype and ride it, that's on the Mo train with charts, more momentum, more power to you. But from an investing standpoint, based on fundamentals, I'm not there yet with Peloton.
Seth, if you come to my screen, I'll show that graphic right now that you sent this morning.
There you go.
These are the disruptive stocks that are down off of their all-time highs. So it's not disruptive.
And don't forget, you know who's not even in here yet? It's not even Penn Gaming's not in here. And the Penn Gaming is down. 140 was its peak, and now it's down to, let's see where Penn is right now. Penn's down to $57.
Yeah.
Having a bad day today.
That was yesterday. It's rebounding a little bit today.
Oh, is it? Yeah. What's it at today?
Today we are up about 7%. It's about 61.50 right now.
Okay. So
but that day yesterday, look at that day yesterday.
It's still down. What is that? 60%. So 60 divided by 140. Down 57.5%.
Jeez.
Yep.
Guys, these are the things that happen when hype happens, and then one small miss. Peloton missed by less than 1% of revenue expectation. They still beat same quarter last year, and they're down 30% or whatever. Come on. Please don't tell me you think that's rational.
Totally irrational.
And to me, the irrationality is based on the upward irrationality. When it was, this company's going to the moon, because everybody, think about that. People thought just because there were a few quarters of big hits because we were shut down, that means the company's going to the moon. Okay.
Paul, it was funny. I was talking to one of the guys in the group chat this morning, and I said, this is totally irrational for this stock. I said, completely warranted, but irrational, because it is warranted based on the overhype that they've had over the past year and a half, but irrational because this shouldn't be something that takes you down 30 to 35%.
And when you buy a stable company that's generating good cash flow, when these things happen, your thought should be, okay, I'm still generating cash flow. I'm still making my balance sheet better. I'm still buying back shares. I'm still making my investment good. And eventually the market will dictate it. When your entire basis for having a stock is the stock price going up and the fundamentals don't make sense, the second it misses, you're going to be hurt. And you have no idea what's going to happen. Guys, we have no clue what's going to happen on companies like Peloton.
Yeah, in the end, folks, as value investors, if this is refreshing and new to you, not so much as buying companies and hoping, we like to let companies calm down, give them a chance to be a great company, then find them on sale. It's very patient, boring, and we look like idiots at the moment. But one day we will look like we'll be flossing in Paul's mansion. Paul, tell us about that software that people can floss with.
So guys, this software is great. We created the software because our users wanted to be able to analyze their stocks the same way we did with our 8-pillar process, but they didn't want to wait for videos to come out. And guys, there's over 10,000 stocks out there. We can't possibly do every stock that you want. So we created the software. We spent hundreds of thousands. The software is now available. You get everything you see here. You get it all in mobile form. So you get it on your phone immediately. You get exclusive daily content by us. So only for the subscribers. It goes into our chat. You get access to Seth, Mo, and I. But more importantly, like I said, that chat, there's over 6,000 people who've already bought the software. So if you're on this island by yourself where you feel like I can't talk to anybody about investing, but these guys make sense, we have 6,000 other people like you. Go in there. You can talk about every type of investment out there, including crypto. There are crypto lovers and Tesla lovers in our chats, but they want a process. And that's what we're trying to teach is a process. All this, including everything that's coming soon, you get that all for 90 cents per day. Every month the price goes up, but the second you sign up, your price is locked in. As the price goes up, you stay at your price. So this is a no-brainer, 90 cents per day. It will make you hundreds of thousands, if not millions, if you follow the right process and implement. It can make you all that money. It's only 90 cents a day. 2 ways to sign up, everythingmoney.com or Patreon. The benefit of going directly to everythingmoney.com is you don't double pay the first month like you do on Patreon, and there's no sales tax yet because we're not big enough. So go sign up, 90 cents a day, guys. It's a no-brainer.
If you want to trade with Mo, join him in the Bin-Ass Nation. If you want to value invest like us, watch more of our videos, and we will see you guys in the next one. Fondle a thumbs up like you fondled Paul's little white belly there as he's sitting there looking so fly. And good luck with Peloton if you're in it. If you're in it, maybe you want to. I don't. When's the time to get out, Paul? Actually, that's another. Before I was gonna close it, but a lot of people say, "Jesus God, I'm in this now. What? What do I do, Paul? If I have Peloton?"
If it doesn't make sense to you, just exit. Use your. I shouldn't say that. Exit when you feel comfortable. If you were just waiting for a rebound, it could very well happen because these big drops tend to lead to rebounds. But at some point, you got to exit and say, "Hey, I found a new process." Sometimes it's the best thing to do is just exit when it doesn't fit your criteria.
So I hate to add this in at the end. I wish I would have thought of it in the middle of the video, but remember the Tread Plus is not there anymore. I think that you'll get a dramatic reaction to the upside when Tread Plus comes out. Everyone's like, "Oh boy, Tread Plus is back out. And then this thing's gonna skyrocket back up."
That's the one that I have.
Yeah. Because they got rid of it. They've taken it off the market since it was hurting people. So that's just my guess.
Oh, I didn't know that, Mo, because I was on that thing yesterday, Paul, and I'm thinking I'd love to get one for my house, but I have small kids and small dogs, and that thing just eats them both, right, Mo?
So you know what's interesting about that? I was like, okay, I want to just go and see if I can buy one. I went to Facebook Marketplace, can't find them. They're taking them off there. eBay, taking them off there. You literally cannot go and find this thing.
Except
if you want the Tread Plus, I'll sell you mine for $10,000. Just slide into my DMs. I'm just kidding.
We need it in the Everything Money fitness room, Paul. I mean, how do we get rid of that thing? So, all right, guys, that's our take on Peloton. Good luck. We'll update you. We'll update you as the stock progresses. But see you next video. Thanks for watching, guys. See you.
See you guys.